Hello, my name is Joshua Keith, and this is theburningcoal.com, a website dedicated to God's glory, His grace, and our response to it. Today we're going to talk about being thankful for a champion. And I think a great passage for this idea comes from Exodus chapter 14. Now, if you remember, the Israelites have been enslaved to the Egyptians, and Pharaoh has been hesitant to let them go. However, God sends these plagues upon the Egyptians. There's 10 of them, and they're very powerful, and they show God's power, and they bring misery to the Egyptians because they refuse to obey God. And finally, Pharaoh lets his slaves go. He lets the Israelites go. However, the next day, he wakes up and he realizes, what have I done? And so now he's going to chase after the Israelites. The Israelites, as they often do, they get intimidated, they get scared, they become weak. And Moses has to encourage them. He tells them to stay strong. And what he says is that the Lord will fight for you, and you have only to be silent. And really, that's exactly what's going to happen. God is going to open up the Red Sea. He's going to let them go across. If the Egyptians choose to follow, which they do, then they are going to get stuck in the mud, and God is going to have the sea envelop them again. There is nothing that the Israelites have to do except walk forward. They don't have to fight. They don't have to blow the trumpets for war. All they have to do is obey what God tells them to do. And so this is very powerful to know that God is on our side, that God is going to fight for us, and that we have only to be silent. And I think it's very powerful for us, and that we're able to be thankful to God because of all the fighting, first of all, that He has done. God has already fought for our salvation. While we were still enemies, Jesus came to the earth and died so that we could have forgiveness of sins. That was a battle we could not fight on our own. We could not even think or imagine a way for that to happen. And yet God took care of it. God fought on our behalf and provided us our salvation. And so now that we've become Christians, however, just like the Israelites, when the Egyptians chased after them, whenever things got hard, they would start questioning God. And God would be so exasperated with them, rightfully so, because it's like, have you forgot what I've already done? Why are you worried about these enemies now if I did the 10 plagues? Why do you think they're going to be able to stop us now? And so after God has taken us from our lost state and has restored us, has conquered the spiritual death that came because of the decisions that we made, why do we doubt that God is going to fight for us now? Why do we doubt that God can handle it? Instead of being timid, we should be thankful. And we need to just be silent. I think the silence that's talked about there is in direct contrast to the complaining that they were doing at the time. God's saying, look, just let it happen. Let me do my work and it will be okay. And God has the same message for me and you today. He has fought sin and He has defeated it. And as we move forward, as we struggle, as we are not sure what tomorrow will bring, we don't have to complain. We don't have to doubt. We don't have to worry. We only have to be silent because our God fights for us. I hope this lesson blesses you in your walk in His kingdom.